All right, that's helpful. That's helpful. So 100% makes you immune, huh? All right. I'm not going after endgame stats for endgame strats. Dude, this will sound kind of silly to you guys. There was a I forget what it's called. It wasn't tenacity, it was something else, but there was a very similar stat in Dungeon Defenders 2. And there was these enemies that would run up and basically EMP your defenses. And the stat was essentially tenacity, and as you built it on those defenses, it would reduce how long the EMP lasted, which would make it faster for them to come back online. And if you could get it to 100%, they were immune. So if you could get your walls, your front defenses with 100% tenacity, then the EMP guys would always blow up on the walls, it would do nothing, and the stuff behind it was safe. And it was a game changer when you went from 99 to 100%. Because there's the difference between your stuff getting shut down or not getting shut down. And this is like the exact same mindset for me. Alright, so that was a hard lesson learned. We got rocked. We lost most of the purple stuff. So for now, we go back into the battlefield, and we get more purple stuff and get more boss kills until we can do that again. Skill issue? Yeah. Yeah, Smashy, I don't remember if it was you or maybe Ephily. It was an Eevee emote, and then there was... It might have been both of you, because it was the yellow cat thing that, you or Charmon's... No, I think it's Charmon's always got emotes, this, like, yellow cat thing. And Ephily has the ones with the Eevee. Anyway, the other day I got raided. And they, both of them, put up this, emote of, like... There's, like, a raid emote with, like, the creature in question with, like, sword and shield. And I liked it, and I commissioned one for our channel last night. I was like, I want one of those for us. Yeah, that was one of them. I think I like the energy of the Eevee one more because it was like it looks like it's in full-blown panic. Yours looks like it's playfully killing someone. Like it was just a prank, teehee. Oh no. Oh, okay, go shoot out. Do you need to keep using skills in this game, or is it autocast? You click to use skills, but it also depends on your build, right? Like you can make a build that does most of its damage passively around it, or you can make builds that require clicking, or you can make builds that do like combos. Like for example, the character I'm playing right now, she gets one set of bonuses if each skill she uses is different from the last skill she used. And then she gets a different set of bonuses if you keep using the same skill and just spamming it. So you can, just on this character, you can choose to play it in either way. So it's more like an ARPG than Vamp Survivors? Yes. There are some Vamp Survivors-like elements. Like, there is a series of levels where occasionally, after you survive long enough, a thing will pop up and say, pick a pro and a con. And you pick something like the enemies can now freeze me, but in exchange I now get this money, or stuff like that. But yeah, it's more like an ARPG in the general sense. Okay, so I'm gonna fire this just to get the buff back, and spam the knife until she looks happy. So now we've got that buff, and then go. Weapon leveled to 58. Is that a new weapon? We found a new weapon. Ancestral Wrath. Where is that? Base damage, pretty low. 5 Ancestral Wrath chance. Imbued skills and Ancestral Beams do 1+1% increased damage for every equipped imbue effect. Whenever you deal Ancestral Strike damage, you trigger Ancestral Beam, a piercing projectile coming from a random direction toward you, doing damage, skill level, and element damage per hit, elemental damage to enemies hit. When Ancestral Beam reaches you, it's absorbed and you gain Ancestral Wrath up to 1 per level. Then you have a chance to trigger Ancestral Wrath. This chance is equal to your total Ancestral Wrath stacks. Beams are imbued as if they were your primary or secondary skill. Also grants the skill Ancestral Wrath, costs mana, you release your Wrath, consuming your Wrath stacks, and triggering Ancestral Beam around you've ever consumed Ancestral Wrath. Okay, so that's a whole play style around that thing. Not my thing, though. Having the beam come toward you and then you hit it makes me think of Ornn from League of Legends. Spam the knife to comb your hair, basically. Did I not? Oh, I thought I had triggered that already. Yeah, when she uses different attacks, her hair gets more unkempt. But when she spams the same attack, she gets happy and her hair looks combed. It's kind of weird. But for the way we're playing right now, using one ability is much better for the passives. Next one should allow me to proceed. Open portal. And buff again. Ah, got webbed. Yeah, that little bit of tenacity I had might have helped me there. At least I get out of the web a bit faster than I used to. Run in circles. A strat as old as time. Oh my god. These challenges are always fun, but spicy. 186 kills. Because there's no limit to how much stuff will spawn. It's just you gotta keep that area under control till the time runs out. And if you kill everything, it spawns more. So the faster you kill, the faster it spawns. And it gets like, ah! Okay, so that one thing is in effect where lightning strikes me and I have to get under the shield domes to not get wrecked. Oh no. That wasn't close at all. It pushed me away from it. Here's another one of the exciting ones. More turrets! Elite mob. One of the stringy boys. 7 out of 16 for this level. You know, when I first started playing this, I had such an easy time dodging the projectiles from the spiders, but now there's just so many of them. It's like, it's a lot more difficult for me because there's just so many on the screen. Carolyn Icon 90, the Fiery Flame. Bulwarks resolve. Okay. So another boss down. I got about 10 more minutes. I might be able to get to one more boss before I'm out of time. Yep. Yeah, something I can chat about for a couple minutes while doing this. You know, you guys, some of you may know, like each year in Seattle, Guild Wars 2 does kind of like a community get-together thing, and I believe that this year is no exception, and it's looking like it would happen at the same time as PAX West. And I've never been to any cons of any sort, chat, like at all. And I was talking to Lady Luck, and I'm like, hey, if I were to go to one of these things, would you want to come with? She's like, yes, I would. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, why don't we start looking into that? And again, this would be like, you know, me leaving the house the first time in ages, right? And we talked to the boy, and I was like, would you be interested in coming to this too? Because I wasn't sure if he would be like scared of flying or something like that. Because like me and my wife have flown many times, but he never has. And he was really excited by the idea of that. So we were looking into that. And the price to just like fly out there and stay in a hotel for 2 days and then fly back, not counting tickets to venues or food or anything like that, was like $2,500, just the cheapest we could find it. And now she's like having a heart palpitations, and she's like, I don't know about this. And it's like, oh, that's a really expensive weekend. That is a really expensive weekend. And we even had some people in the biz like recommend us, like, oh, try using this website, it's cheaper, and that shaved off like $75. But it's a lot. And then someone was, dude, I had someone from Europe. They were like, oh, what about train? And I'm like, you know what? I never considered train. And I looked into that, and chat, like, I forgot that Europe, like 2 different countries, are like a 30-minute drive from each other. But in America, that's a joke. So like in here, I looked it up. To take a train from where I live to Seattle is 85 hours. Chat, that's a week on the train. Hello, buddy. What's up? Mwah. Chip is visiting whether he likes it or not. Hey, the claws are sharp. The claws are sharp. Okay. The hotels for PAX are expensive. Yeah. Okay, stop. I got a few more minutes, okay? Let me finish up. Anyway, yeah, so, I half jokingly, half like, you know, hey, if you can make it work. I contacted SideQuest. I'm like, hey, you think Delta would sponsor me? Just so I can save some money. Get PAX to sponsor? PAX ain't gonna sponsor me. PAX has plenty of people showing up without needing Mukluk the Guild Wars 2 streamer. They're not gonna sponsor me. Yeah. So yeah, chat, for the first time in decades, I have accumulated enough energy that I'm willing to travel. Something that has not happened since I started streaming 7 years ago. I'm willing to go out and meet some of you. But holy crap, it's expensive. I don't know if I can afford it. Bye. No, I said bye. Alright, we're almost back to full ecto fluid. Time to revive your OnlyFans account. Mike is willing to miss one day of the stream? No. No, I didn't say that, Laura. So my idea was like, on a Thursday night, stream until like 2 a.m. So I could say that I streamed on Friday, right? Because technically. Then, Friday, spend the day flying out to Seattle. And then Friday night, go to the first con. And then Saturday, could go to PAX or just like, you know, go around and be a tourist, look at landmarks, stuff like that. Sleep Saturday, or no, sorry, Saturday, do a, like, RL stream from the hotel room and just, like, chat for, like, 10 minutes so the streak stays alive. And then sleep Saturday night, come back home Sunday, stream Sunday night. So there would be one stream from Seattle would be the idea. So, no, not willing to break the streak. I took that into account. Hold on, Willamy add Akun the Destroyer. But... yeah, we were not thinking it would be $2,500 for travel and board for us for 2 days. We were not thinking it was going to be that much when we all were like, oh yeah, this seems like a great idea. Nice. Did get to another boss. Alright, head on. You're willing to break the streak to fly to Washington. No. Not breaking the streak. The streak is very important. How much? 3. So, again, my wife and my son wanted to join. So it would be 3 tickets. 3 seats on an airplane going out. 3 seats on an airplane coming back. And then a hotel, one hotel room with like a bed and a rollaway for 2 nights. The cheapest we could find for those flights plus hotel room was like a total of $2,500, $2,500, $2,500. That's not counting food. That's not counting like tickets just to get in the door at PAX would be another, like for 3 people would be another few $100s. Like, hold on. How much are PAX West tickets? That's full of typos. Google will know what I mean. Saturday is $70. Okay, so... so it's like $200 to get the 3 of us into PAX. Convention, I don't know, probably. Yeah, maybe. And then, like, a European said, did you look at trains? And I'm like, you know, that's genius. I've never ridden a train. I'll look it up. I'm like, dude, a train trip out there would take a week. And he's like, oh, man, I could take a train trip anywhere. Be there today. And I'm like, yeah, you're in Europe, but it's tiny. Bulwarks Resolve. Plus Ellie Resistances, plus Max Mana, plus Evasion. You have 0% armor multiplier. Armor multiplier is equal to your percent of missing life. So as your life gets lower, your armor gets higher. That's kind of neat. That's kind of neat. It's not just tiny, well connected with rails. True. There are some parts of the United States that have a lot of rail lines, and there are many parts of the United States that have, like, none. That is entirely accurate, yes. It's just the trains never come on time. I don't know anything about that. I know supposedly Japan is, like, really punctual with its trains. Like, they can be 5 minutes late, and they'll give everyone a card, like, apologizing so they can show their bosses. I had the same interaction planning something to meet up with some American buddies from Britain. Oh, it's fine. I'll just get the train. No, you won't. They were right. Yeah. Sometimes I feel like, oh, dude, you know what else that is not counting? Is if, like, we have to leave our car at the airport and pay for 2 days parking. That would probably be another chunk of cash, too. That would be more. Yeah. It's something where if we can make it work, we want to do it. But $2,500, that is more than 3 sponsored streams, and more of income, just throwing it all into a 2-day trip. That is a lot. All right, cool. We have made some progress on this. I need to do this again and probably not turn on that challenge mode setting that I did last time where the enemy came from 4 gates. And a few more bosses in Battlefield and then Influence. I think Influence is just leveling over time, I think. I don't know that I need to do anything special for this. But once I get all of this done, what do we have here? Defeat the Temple Keeper at floor 50. Complete 100 waves in a row at Wrath 3+ on Siege. Hold on. What was I doing? I was doing it on 4. Yeah, I could turn it down to 3. And then do 100 in a row. How many did I do last time? Did I do 40? Did I do 40? Oh my god, so 60 more than what I did. Defeat Adam. That's a freaking spoiler, I hate it. Reach level 75. Find more Reaper runes. Okay, that kind of sucks, because you get 1 Reaper rune per siege guy, right? So that means doing 10 more of those thingies. So I gotta do all of this to finish the story. Dang, that is a hell of a time sink to finish the story. We will see, we will see. All right, I'm still enjoying this game, but god dang, this is one hell of a time sink right in the middle. What did this just give me? 0.5% attack speed, +1 Reaper damage, +5 max Reaper damage, 25% pierce chance, 25% fort chance, 25% rebound chance, and 25% projectile speed if you have less than 25% life. Thing is though, unless I change it, there is a trait that gives the turret all of those weird stats from me. But there's no way I'm taking it. Yeah, it's if your ballistas are within 2 yards of you, they will copy your pierce, fork, rebound, etc. However, this is the thing that lets me have a really short cooldown on turrets, so I can just have like 100 turrets out. So there's no way I'm going to take that. Yeah, so getting all of those stats, I don't think is going to affect me. You need to do all of that and then do part 3. Yeah, what is part 3? I can't really read this. It just says the Warlords. Is this a hit list? Do I need to, like, kill all of these entities? Is that what that is? And then follow-up question, if that is a hit list, where do I find these guys? Like, where are they? Like, what game mode are they in? X4 says, to give context, I could have gone to TwitchCon Amsterdam last year, though a ticket by train cost me $200 for one way with like a 2-hour train ride. If you drive by car, it's 2.5 hours for $50 of fuel, but and those 200 were way too much for me. So you drove, is what you're saying? Europe isn't tiny; it's fun size. Hey, you know what, Smashy? For purposes of this conversation, I'm envious because I don't think I can afford to go to PAX West. You know what? Like, Americans love to tease you guys, like, oh my god, your whole country would fit in one of our states. So right now, I'm wishing our states were smaller, because I can't get over there. It's too much. It is a hit list, and in game mode you haven't unlocked yet. Doing part 2 gets you that game mode. If you want 1 Ascendance power, which breaks your totem build on Forge, I can give you this info, but it costs your fun from the game. From the Forge? from the forge. Do you mean, hold on, do you mean the blacksmith guy, or do you mean the great, probably the great forge? It breaks your ascendant's power? Dude, I don't mind pointers. Like, I'll choose if I want to ignore it or take it, but I don't know what an ascendant's power is. Like, I know about, like, you know, messing with the stats on your gear. I can actually go reinforce some of these. But I don't know what an ascendant's power is. Let's see, Presidents, okay, so that's a bit more stats. Alright. Check that tree, K on keyboard. Oh, ancestral, okay, ancestral power, not ascendance. Okay, yeah, alright, so what about the tree? What are we looking for? I admit I haven't read everything on here, because this is a lot. I've read some things. Search for something totem. Alright. Okay, there's 5 things lit up. Let's start with this one. You summon a Frost Sentinel that fires Frost Bolts. Frost Sentinel has 3 charges. Alright, that's not it. You have 2% increased totem, increased effect, max life, damage over time, LE resistances. Okay, so that's a bit more damage on the totems. You refresh the duration and effect of every active totem within a 5-yard radius. For 15 seconds. Okay, so if I... Okay, so I guess it's this. So if I have all my totems in a pile, and then I use this, it just keeps, like, re-extending their lifespan. So I can get more and more and more and more and more. Ancestral strikes create a lightning rod nearby. You plant down a lightning rod at target location as +1 charges. Hold on, how many of these things? Hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I might be able to reach that if I refund everything else. And I could get that on the way there. 5-yard radius is pretty small. I don't know how much distance the game considers a yard. So I'm curious, like, exactly how close do I have to be to these turrets? Okay. All right. Yeah, I might try that out. Because then I could just keep stacking. There's still, you know, still a chance of me getting popped by something, but yeah. Okay, cool. Chat, we made some progress. Still having fun, still enjoying this. Going to save our progress here because I am out of time. And we will be back to it next time.